fact that 60% of people in the UK, young people, are ashamed of the UK. Maybe not quite ashamed, a little bit too harsh. And there are a number of communities who actually don't share our values and want to replace our values with something completely different.
All these problems sound huge. I don't think they're as big as they seem. Young people will always rebel. So young people, we've had the punks. Young people have always rebelling, saying,
I certainly did, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And all children, all young people across the world do this about their host nation. So I wouldn't worry about young people. Most of the communities in our country want England to be successful. How that looks and how that's defined, a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
We've let most migrants down in this country by allowing them to bring their failed culture into this country and never forcing them to integrate or assimilate or to reject parts of their ancestral culture. We allowed them to do that. There's many people in those communities who would love to reject the old homeland communities, but are not supported by government or us to do it. And they're just as afraid of the nutcases in their communities as we are. If we could get a strong leader with a backbone, could fix many of these problems. Part of it is mass deportation for people who were not born here, for people who've only arrived in the last 10 years, for any foreign criminal who commits any offence should be deported and barred for good.
Yeah.
There's lots of things we can do. We're just not at a stage yet where the people would accept that, and we've got politicians who would do that. Yeah. We've been in many, many, many worse situations than we are today. Yeah. If we look historically, the world power in the 1600s tried to invade us 3 times with the Spanish armadas. We managed to beat them. Napoleon conquered Europe, one of the greatest emperors, tacticians ever to exist. We beat him. Yeah. Hitler, biggest nutcase in the world, conquered everybody in weeks. Yeah. We beat him. We stood alone against Europe and him, and we stood fast. Most people wanted to make a deal with him. We didn't. We beat him. And then let's look at the 1970s. 1970s were worse than today. We were the sick man of Europe. Our houses had electricity cuts all the time. I remember my house full of candles. I remember my mum not being able to buy potatoes, but only could buy them this big, because that's all that was available. Yeah. Bodies not being buried, streets, refuge being piled up in mountains. Yeah. It was worse than it is now. Yeah. And you know what? A leader came through and we changed it. We've been in worse situations.
Thatcher was bloody impressive. When you look back at what she said, she was...
It only seems terrible is because we're living through it.
Yeah.
When the history books are written of this period in time, it will not be deemed as terrible as we feel it is now. It's just that we're living through it. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.